Yo, what's good? We about to tap into another Bird video. They clown Larry Bird for being old. Big mistake. Let's tap in.
As Larry Bird played his last handful of games on the 1992 Dream Team, he got called out by some young college superstars for being old and washed up.
And I was like, Larry, your back is already hurting, man. You need to take it easy.
Hey, Larry, you ain't hit a jumper since '84. And one last time, Larry Bird had to prove that even at his advanced age, there's a big difference between being a good player and being the greatest of all time.
Larry Bird at this point in his career is now squeezing to the end. It's a ceaseless struggle to get healthy enough to play.
Larry Bird did not play the final 7 games of the season as he decided to sit out and see if he could get his back ready for the playoffs. His back was day to day, and no one knew if he would be able to play in the series.
I don't know how I'm going to feel tomorrow, how I'm going to feel Thursday or Friday. It's just wait and see. It's a game that we're playing right now, and hopefully I'll be prepared to play every game.
I remember walking in the locker room, and I saw Larry before the game, and I said, how you feeling? I'm okay, I guess. Well, he wasn't okay. Could barely put his pants on.
He spent the night at the hospital in traction, so he had to be in just unbelievable pain.
I can remember when I first came in that in the league, Alex Gilmore told me one time he played for Chicago. He said, if you expect to play a long time in this league, you better quit mopping up the floor. And I thought, well, he's crazy because that's what basketball's all about, going after loose balls. But getting a little bit older now and feeling the bangs and the bumps and bruises and all that, I can see where he's coming from, but I can't change my style of play. I got to play like that every night because if you go down and get one loose ball that's on the ground, that could be the turning point of the game, and it has been in some instances.
It is because that's winning plays right there.
Nothing to be described as confident. In fact, this is the 10th deciding game of a playoff series Larry Bird has been involved in. By the way, the condition of his lower back injury remains the same, expecting to play about 40 minutes through pain today. And it has come down to the swift and deciding game between the Celtics and the Pacers.
Bird got on him, boy. He felt that pressure to call that timeout. He got scared of the pressure. Bird like, yeah, you about to fold, ain't it? Damn.
As Larry Bird carried the Celtics to a lead in the first half, while already in excruciating back pain. To make matters even worse, with 4 minutes to go in the second quarter, Larry Bird took one of the nastiest falls of his career.
As Bird goes after the loose ball to try to take it, he does in fact get it, keeps it in play, but he pays for it. He don't go right now to get up.
It was a thud when he hit that floor. You heard that boom. The breath went out of that building because they thought that, that was it.
We went to him and just hope it wasn't anything too serious. Obviously, there was something wrong with him. Anytime you see Larry Bird walk off the court, something seriously got to be wrong.
Larry Bird's face hit the floor so hard that he knocked himself unconscious for a few seconds. He left the game with a concussion and had a broken bone in his face. And with the Celtics leader out of the game, Chuck Person and the Indiana Pacers smelled blood.
Right now, it is helping the Indiana Pacers pick up their level of intensity. They smell it right now. They know the leader is not on the floor. Someone needs to step up now for Boston and take over in Larry Bird's absence. The first time was after the Pacers had a lead.
Well, like Chuck Person was a real force, and there was a lot of back and forth going on. And Larry bangs his head on the floor.
I know.
Boom. has to lead the game.
It looks like the ship's going to sink, and we're going to go home in the first round.
And the cameras are on Larry, emerging from the locker room on the corridor. The cavalry is arriving. The crowd sees them. They go berserk.
And here comes Larry.
I got the sense that the Pacers were stunned to see him there, and that they thought, what's going to happen now?
Throughout this timeout, they have been standing and cheering since Larry Bird made his way from underneath the tunnel from the Boston locker room.
It is one of the, in the Bird lore, it is one of the top 5 incidents that he did that might have been the last great moment.
He went out with 4:23 remaining in the second after taking the fall, and he is back in the ballgame. Reggie Miller shot. He got it by 40.
Him coming back on the floor, that means he had heart. That means he wasn't gonna let his team down. Like, you know what I mean? He was a big main factor to his team. Like, he was the main go-to guy. You know what I mean? Like, he didn't let his team down. Like, that's a competitor. That's a winner. That's a champion right there. Like, see, he got that competitive spirit, that edge over people that in today's game they don't got that. They just too money overlooked them, and then they feel like they don't feel hungry to play the sport. Like, he always had that hunger, and he didn't want his team down. You know what I mean? That's a real competitive edge right there.
I've never met an athlete that would play with pain the way he does, and an athlete that's so highly self-motivated as Larry Bird. People's pain threshold are different. Some guys will dislocate a finger and go ahead and play with it. Some guys can dislocate a finger and be out 6 weeks. I think it's just something within your body that some guys have a good pain threshold, some don't. But to me, I'm just so glad I got the NBA and made it. I didn't want some of the injury messing up my whole season, so I try to play through it.
When Larry returned, the Celtics went from losing by 3 points to winning by 13 points in a matter of minutes.
They come right back at you.
I think it's really a mental thing. Larry's on the court now. Hey, now we got our leader back. We got a big option here we can go to. Down the stretch during the game, and it was just a bit emotional enough for the other court too.
The fans at that point wouldn't let the team lose because of what Larry was doing.
Sanders at 6'6", giving away 3 inches.
Through all of the pain and injuries, Larry Bird came back and led this Celtics team to a victory. proving that there is a big difference between being a good player and being the greatest of all time. Because today's players just aren't built like they used to be.
Quite rarely do you see this kind of emotion from Larry Bird. So when Larry Bird is answering the challenge put forth to him by some person in the Indiana Pacers, and he's letting it all hang out today.
I'm talking about today's player. When you look at Larry in that game, and Bob Hill says he's coming back and be ready for him, would today's player come back in a game like that? Now with load management, where agents and managers are saying you got to take care of your body and your product, and it's true,
It's true, but it's bad for the game because in the day, like people pay a lot of money to go see the best players, their team, and they go sit out like people didn't pay money. You know what I mean? It's a bad product for the game, and it's not good. Like you feel what I'm saying? And it shows really not a competitive edge when they do that because it's kind of weak as hell doing that. Like back then, they would actually play hard and they know people pay hard on money to go see them and their team. That's why the game was so better back then. Now it's so weak because they get paid so much money and they don't really appreciate it. They feel like, well, I already got all this money and I could do whatever I want to do. And that's why the game is so watered down and weak as hell now. And it's a bad product for the game. You feel me? Low management, that shit is weak. Like, that's not good for the game. That's weak as hell. That's like the weakest move ever. You know what I mean? I feel like low management should have never existed. Like, what the hell? That shit is weak.
and your body is your livelihood.
Yeah.
I remember Jordan playing with 104-degree temperature.
Yeah.
Larry, we just talked about that game,
Isaiah Thomas against the Lakers in 88, 25-point period on a bad leg.
He's got to be hurting and limping. And Isaiah Thomas having an incredible period.
Yeah, so it's just, I don't know, maybe I'm being unfair, but that just isn't there anymore.
Boston 110, Indiana 96. Bird again ends up on the floor, and he was pushed by Person. Person stepping up with the blind speed right in the area that Larry Bird doesn't need in the middle of the back.
I think 4 or 5 years you'll think back about what he did, or you'll just, I think it's one of those things that as the years go by, it'll become bigger and bigger and bigger.
In a terrific series, after the Indiana Pacers, they won it in 5 to advance to the second round.
Now I really have a lot of respect for Larry Bird, but the way he played today, it's like the stuff you tell your kids about. And I told him at the end of the game, I've never seen anything like that. Truly amazing, man.
It was truly amazing because he was a warrior. He didn't give up on his team. Like you found saying, he came back, he made a difference. He was the main go-to guy on his team, and he got his team to the victory, advance to the next round. Like in the playoffs, that's like big. You feel me? Like he didn't give up on his team. That's winning. That's championship caliber. A player right there. Like that's like inspirational. Like.
It's courageous and all those other things. And he's a leader. He is a leader of the Celtics, and he will be until he retires. I've known Chuck for a while, and we always had run-ins, but it always seems like I get the last word.
We are looking for gamers who want to learn how to become video game testers, designers, or programmers. If any of these
Because after that 1992 season, after so many years of giving his blood, sweat, and tears to the game of basketball, Larry Bird's body had completely betrayed him, and no one knew it yet, but he had played his last game in the NBA.
Had back problems. You just get to the point where you just couldn't play. I mean, you couldn't think, couldn't move, couldn't run. If you can't feel your feet, it's hard to run.
But just before he was about to announce his retirement, a longtime rival asked him to lace up his sneakers one last time. But this time, it would be on the same team in what many people have called the greatest team ever assembled, the 1992 Dream Team.
Larry was on the fence because of his back, so I said, man, LB, you gotta play, man. You gotta play. This is our last chance to be together. He said, Magic, my back is hurt. And I said, Larry, you don't have to play 30 minutes a game. You can just play 10 minutes a game. He said, all right, I'll play. I said, all I want to do is come down and do a no-look pass to you, and you shoot a three-pointer. We both going to be very happy.
Magic that time making a defensive rotation, forcing him to put it on the floor. Fire for three. I want to say this is a small step, and what our goal really is to get the Barcelona, win the gold medal, and bring it back where it's supposed to be. What may well be the best basketball team ever assembled, and here they are, moments away from their international debut. The white uniform, Michael Johnson controls the tip. Here's Larry Bird banking in, goes for the fadeaway. A comfortable high effort against Canada. Bird with three. Downtown, he has 10 points. In the second half, Bird is wide open.
And even on the brink of retirement, Larry Bird still had a little something left in the tank.
The crowd started cheering. Larry, Larry, Larry.
Reacts to the entrance of Larry Bird, a standing ovation. The overlooking pin. With the pass that misfired, Jordan. You just knew that Larry Bird was not going to miss that shot after the great save by Michael Jordan.
I'm going to put a message around the world today that y'all can give it up. You foreigners can give it up.
Final score, the United States, 136.
And in the gold medal game, the Dream Team beat Croatia, and there was no doubt anywhere in the world who was the greatest team ever assembled.
They will be the greatest team ever assembled in the history of team sports.
However, as our old legends age out of the game, there will always be some newcomers to come challenge the throne. And in 1992, that newcomer was Rodney Rogers.
All season.
You brought up Rodney Rogers, and when I was asked about Zion, I said, for some reason, I see a little bit of Rodney Rogers in Zion Williamson. They were big, athletic guys who were mobile. Do you see Rodney Rogers in Zion?
I do see Rodney Rogers. It makes so much sense now that you said it.
The only thing I see is the athleticism and the body type. Outside of that, like who was Rodney Rogers? You know what I mean? Like, he wasn't a franchise caliber player, and he wasn't an all-star. Zion, I think, was an all-star, but Zion can barely stay healthy. You feel what I'm saying? Like that's the only thing that I see. You know what I mean? Let me know if I'm tripping in the comments or not. But that's what I think.
Like that, Rodney Rogers could shoot better. I've never seen a guy like that strong. I knew what Country Strong was after I played against him and Corliss Williamson, those guys like that, maybe never lifted a weight, but could push a car out the way if they needed to. And so with him, I definitely think Rodney Rogers would be a great comparison for that.
And when Rodney Rogers was selected as one of the 8 best college players in 1992 to go scrimmage against the Dream Team, Larry Bird gave Rodney Rogers his welcome to the league moment.
But you missed Bird by a couple of years, I think, didn't you?
I missed him by 1 year, but I got to play against him in the Dream Team and to be able to practice with him, see how he worked out, see how he shot, see the jump that he taught constantly. The best was my man Rodney Rogers, strong, fast, quick, athletic, and Bird just shut him up in the corner. Someone drives to the corner, stock, and pass out the Bird, and here you see Rodney Rogers take a full sprint. And I'm talking about, you know how Zion blocked that shot a couple weeks ago?
Yeah.
That's where where Rodney Rogers came from. Except, unlike the young kid that shot the shot, in the middle of him being in midair, Bird says, "Welcome to the parachute club, rookie," and watches him go by him, shoots the ball, and kept walking down, shaking his head like these dumb youngsters. They'll never get it.
Yeah, like Bird looked at it like it's a statement game. Like, see, y'all get into the league, you feel me? Already well established, and I still got it. Like, you feel me? Like, I'm him for real. You know what I mean? Y'all boys better recognize, like, I'm him for real. Like, you know what I mean? I'm well established. I'm a Hall of Famer. I got rings in there. Y'all rooks. Y'all just entering the league. Like, let me show you. Let me teach you a lesson. Let me teach you a math equation real quick, and bust your ass on the court. Like, like for real though. Like, he made a statement. Like, it was like a statement game though.
And according to some of the guys that played, Larry Bird and the Dream Team basically beat these college youngsters by 100 points. But why was Larry Bird so hell-bent on embarrassing the young Rodney Rogers? Because one day earlier, Rodney Rogers said something that pissed Larry Bird off, and the friendly scrimmage turned into a serious lesson in respecting your elders.
You know, when we probably played against him in the Dream Team. Mm-hmm. You know, that whole situation was amazing.
It was 8 of us. It was myself, Bobby Hurley, Allen Houston, Chris Webber, Rodney Rogers, Eric Montrose.
Shout out Rodney Rogers, man. Shout out OG.
Yeah, and Grant Hill was on that squad.
And I kept calling us the crash test dummies. And they want us to come sit in the car and run up against the wall and see how hard it hurts to play against these guys.
So we get to La Jolla, San Diego, and we check into the Marriott, and we're walking in the corridor, and we see this tall white guy coming down the hall. I'm like, damn, that looks like Larry Bird. So Larry Bird coming down the hallway, me and Chris Webber, and Larry Bird, you don't realize how big Larry Bird is until you stand up. Larry Bird legit 6'10". So he walked by us, he says, "Y'all those college guys?" And we was like, yeah, we college guys. And he looked at us and he said, "Get some fucking rest, it's gonna be a long week," and walked off. And we was like, what the hell?
And we get back to the hotel, and I remember Bird getting out the elevator, and it's like, "See y'all tomorrow, young fellas. See y'all tomorrow." And it wasn't like a looking forward to seeing y'all tomorrow. Like, no, it was like a see y'all tomorrow. Right? And I remember,
I'm pretty sure he was probably looking like, shit, I'm about to bust your ass and I'm about to show y'all what I'm really about on this court. You know what I mean? Y'all boys are thinking I'm washed up. I ain't washed up. I still can play in. I can bust your ass. And you know what I mean? Like, them boys playing around, joking. You feel me? Joking around, thinking Bird don't got it. That man still got it. And he made a statement for real. Like, Bird, like, shit, I ain't playing. Shit, I still got it. And I'm going to bust your ass on that court. You feel me? I'm going to bust your ass. And I'm going to make a statement on this court. But it is what it is.
Getting off the plane, and I see a sign. It says Mr. Bird and Mr. Webber. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, no way. And so I get in the car, and it's Larry fucking Bird. And I shake his hand. I'm quiet, you know. And when we get out, he doesn't say much. But when we get out, he goes, "Hope you get your sleep tonight, because I'm going to bust your ass tomorrow." Yes! And I didn't know what to say, but I knew this is a moment you have to say something. And I was like, you know, "Larry, your back is already hurting, man. You need to take it easy." And then I run to the room and I call my father. I'm like, "Dad, Larry Bird was just talking shit to me."
So the next morning, we get up and we go to practice, and the Dream Team is practicing. They're finishing up their practice. And then they say, "All right, get loose and stretch out." We're like, "Okay, we playing?" They're like, yeah, we're going to play next. It's the starting five, I think, is myself, Chris Webber, Rodney Rogers, Bobby Hurley, and Allen Houston.
So we're practicing. We start finding the rhythm, pinning people on the glass, C Webb's doing his thing, and I hit a couple threes, and next thing you know, like the clock stops, and we look up and like, we up. Yeah, we're up.
Like the first 15 minutes, we kicking their ass. we running them all out. Bobby Hurley in the lane, killing John Stockton.
I did have some success penetrating and collapsing the defense, and our energy, our excitement to play, all those things played in our favor.
Data loss isn't just an IT problem. It's a business threat. Count on Salvage.
What we were doing that day, they couldn't stop it. It felt tremendous.
I don't know if there was ever a more pure or better basketball day.
Yeah.
For myself or for any of those guys, because we were in a trade playing against our heroes, and we did beat them that first practice.
And then something happened. We're sitting there, and we get back to the hotel. Rodney Rogers says something to, it's a group of us, Larry Bird, Magic Johnson, and everybody shooting the shit. And Rodney Rogers said, hey, Larry, you ain't hit a jumper since 84. And we ain't think none of it. The next day we came in, that's when the thing came out that Chuck Daly let us win.
There are kids who believe in Santa Claus too, and the Easter Bunny, and now that they've grown up, I hate to burst their bubble, but it was a game thrown. Chuck threw the game. If you look how he subbed guys in, not picking up, not making any adjustments, he knew what he was doing.
I love Coach K. That's come on, man. That's BS. They had Chris Mullin, a better shooter than anyone that we had. We really beat him that day. But the next day, it's been the only time in my life I've been in a scrimmage and my team did not score in the whole quarter.
Man, the next day was different. It was different that day. Yeah, you could tell that. They were like, "Come on now, we're gonna let y'all know who we really are." We showed them why.
They're the original dream team. Like they really superstars in the league, well established. Like they put a statement on everybody on there. Like they busted their ass, and it was like y'all college kids coming in. Like y'all got way more to learn. Y'all still gotta develop. We already these players for real. Like it was a big difference. Like they bust their ass.
Well, we are who we are. We pretty much beat them by 100. They couldn't score.
They were smacking the floor, talking shit to us like it was a championship game.
Magic Johnson fed Larry Bird the ball probably about 8 times in a row down court. Larry Bird got the ball on Rodney Rogers, and every time he was about to make a move, he told him what he was going to do. One dribble, pull up, going left, off glass. One dribble, going right, spin, shot, bucket. He scored 9 times or 8 times in a row. Left the court to go lay down because he couldn't sit on the bench. And said, young fella, look like 84, huh?
Last time he met.
So I'm sitting there, I'm like, wow. I said, so that's they kicked our ass for the rest of the week. And
the rest of the week,
they didn't play with you. Nah, they ain't play with us the rest of the week. And this one I was like, this is a different breed.
Larry Bird retired after that season, and though many players have been compared to Larry Bird since he retired, nobody has been able to capture the one-of-a-kind magic that created the nickname Larry Legend.
I would like to play it a little bit longer, maybe a year or 2 more, but there's just no way possible I was going to be able to do that. So today I'm retiring, and I knew this day was going to come sometime, and I sort of prepared myself that once you sign the papers and say you're retired, once you get up here in front of these people, it's a little bit different.
Larry Bird retirement ceremony. They had it on a night when there was no game. That's how special, that's how popular, that's how great Larry Bird is. They filled the Boston Garden, and you couldn't get a ticket. Magic comes out, and it was just great, and he had the Celtic t-shirt on underneath, and the speech that Magic gave.
Larry Bird said that there would be another Larry Bird. And Larry, there will never, ever, ever be another Larry Bird.
To have all the fans come back to pay tribute and to say thank you. There was nothing like that on earth.
Tonight, my basketball career is officially over, and I had a blast. So tonight I leave. I leave basketball forever. I leave a game that I love. Sorry, but I'm gone. I'm history. I dedicated my life to basketball, and I dedicated my life to the Boston Celtics. So, I say good night, Boston, and may God bless each and every one of you. Good night.
That was a beautiful video. Like, comment, subscribe, share the video. Let me know in the comments what you think, and I'm out.